Folks, I am Saurabh Adhikari and today we'll make fruit cake with a cake. And the kick comes from rum soaked dry fruits. Instead of rum, you can use your favorite alcohol as well. And if you don't consume alcohol, no problem at all. You can soak the dry fruits in your favorite juice. Take orange juice or apple juice or any juice. So this cake is made during holiday season. Christmas, Thanksgiving or New Year's, or choose your favorite holiday. And it gives me a very warm and cozy feeling. So let's check out the recipe starting with the ingredients. And yes, if you like my video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. So let's start the process of soaking dry fruits. This process makes the dry fruits very plump and enhances their flavor. I'm using rum to soak my dry fruits. If you don't consume alcohol, you can use your favorite juice as well. Now, if you're using alcohol, you can do this process 2 months ahead of making the cake. I'm doing this process 2 weeks ahead. And if you are using juice, give it maximum 2 days of soaking time. So let me show you which dry fruits I'm using for this process. So now I'm adding 100 grams of Tooti Frooti, 100 grams of cherries, 50 grams of cranberries, 50 grams of golden raisins, 50 grams of black raisins, zest of 1 orange, and zest of 1 lemon. Now I am mixing this well. I'm using this rum to soak. You can use any alcohol of your preference. So adding the alcohol, making sure that all the dry fruits are well dipped in the alcohol. Okay, this should be sufficient. Now mixing this well. So I'll close the lid and keep it till the day I make the cake. And I'll keep on mixing in 2 days or 3 days to make sure all the dry fruits are soaked well. So in ingredients, we have 350 grams of dry fruits soaked in 1 to 2 cups of rum, 300 grams of butter, 50 grams of cashews, 50 grams of walnut, about 10 cherries for garnishing, zest of 1 orange, 5 eggs, sugar 250 grams, of which we have 100 grams of white sugar and 150 grams of brown sugar, 350 grams of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence, and a spice plate where we have half teaspoon of cinnamon powder, half teaspoon of nutmeg powder, half teaspoon of whole allspice, half teaspoon of cloves. We will roast these and grind these to a fine powder, and then half teaspoon of salt. So let's start by making the butter fluffy. So I'll start making this butter fluffy. I've taken a large bowl in which I've added butter. I've softened it a bit in the microwave. Now I'll start whipping the butter till the color of the butter turns to like pale yellow or white even. And while I'm whisking it with an electric mixer, I'll add sugar gradually. So let's start the process. So see, I'm starting to whisk, and this should be the accurate consistency of the butter. So I'm adding sugar gradually. So now the butter is fluffy. So gradually I'll add eggs. I'll add one egg at a time and whisk it continuously. So now egg, butter and sugar mixture is ready. So I'll start the next process. So now I've taken a small bowl with a strainer. Now I'm adding dry fruits and straining all the rum. Then I'm adding cashews, walnut, orange zest, and mixing this well. I'm adding some flour as well, which will bind to these dry fruits and will prevent these dry fruits from sinking in the cake batter when the cake is baking. So mixing this properly. So now you see this amazing flavored liquid here. We'll save this, which we'll use for feeding our cake after it is baked. Now let's start the next process. Now to this mixture, I'm adding 1 teaspoon of vanilla, so now this is the spice mixture, which has cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice and cloves and salt. I have roasted and ground allspices and cloves. So adding this, incorporating it well. Then I'll slowly add the flour. You can use a whisk or a strainer to add the flour. I'm just adding it as is. Now adding 2 teaspoons of baking powder, incorporating this well. So I'm gradually adding all the flour. Okay, so the flour is almost incorporated. Now it's time to add the dry fruits and mixing just to incorporate well. This is going to be a very thick batter. So the batter is almost ready. So now I'll transfer it to the baking pan. So now I've prepared a baking pan or a cake pan, which is about 2-inch thick, but I have put parchment paper to increase the length. Now I'm adding this cake batter here. tapping it in between so that the batter settles. It is a very thick batter. It should settle in the bottom. Okay, it's done. I'm making the surface as flat as possible. Now garnishing the cake with some cherries. So I'll bake this for about 90 minutes at 300 Fahrenheit till this cake passes the toothpick test. That means toothpick inserted in the cake should come out clean. So see the color of the cake. This has come out really wonderful. So let me cool it in the pan for about 15-20 minutes, and then I'll transfer the cake to a cooling rack and cool it on the cooling rack for about 1 hour. Look at this amazing dark brown color cake. This is the exact color that I wanted for this cake. It took about 90 minutes, but worth the wait. Now since the cake has cooled down, I'm taking like a chopstick or a toothpick kind of thing and then making holes in the cake. So make as many as you want to. Now if you remember, I asked you to save the syrup in which the dry fruits were soaked. So I'm using the same syrup and applying it on the top of the cake. What will happen is the syrup will flow through the holes that I just made and will make the inside of the cake moist and flavorful. So try out this recipe and let me know in the comment section how it turned out for you. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And before I forget, let me cut this cake and show you how it looks from the inside. See, this has come out so moist, and this has so many dry fruits. Looks amazing.